I saw it a year ago, but now I have all these different issues to deal with.
Okay, you guys.
I think that makes. Talking, I went over here. I said,
All right. We're back in session. And we have,
I don't know.
everybody has asked the questions. One more. Okay. Let's see if we can wrap it up here there and give Mr. Pizzulli a chance to respond.
My name is Raymond Thies. I live at Copper Beach Road in St. James. My question is, with this expansion, which is, the building expansion is on property now owned by King Cullen. That's the same property that the house is on, is that correct?
No, the expansion, is that on, that's on their property that King Cullen owns? That's correct. That's right.
Okay. How does that expansion now affect any covenants on the property that the house is on?
Well, that's what the application is for. The application is to do a change of zone for that addition in order there to make it so that it'll conform with the house that's on there now. And I'll ask Mr. Pizzulli there to, if the requirements, after he puts the addition on, if that's still going to qualify that thing, then we'll find out that answer for you, okay?
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Although, if I could answer, there was
Let Mr. Pizzulli answer some of
Okay.
these questions now that you brought up.
Just to start with the last question, residential uses are permitted in the central business zone. There's no covenant on that property that would be violated by changing the zoning of that lot. In fact, there was a prior covenant that we are complying with by leaving the house there on the prior change of zone. I just have to say a couple of things, and then I'll keep it brief. The first thing I want to say, and I'd be remiss in saying this, is that King Cullen is America's first supermarket and recognized as America's first supermarket by the Smithsonian Institution. And the original owners, and today they still are the owners, are the Cullen family and the Kennedy family. And to the gentleman who said that this money is going to Chicago, it's not. It's going to Point Lookout and Bellport, because that's where the Cullen and Kennedy family come from. This is a Long Island-owned store and company, okay, homegrown. This particular store is a local grocery store in every sense of the word. This is not a superstore. Superstores are commonly defined nowadays beginning at 55 to 60,000 square feet. I don't even think this store is 40,000 square feet. This particular site will never accommodate a superstore. There will never be a megastore on this location. To put this into context, what we are seeking to do with this request is to construct 4,355 square feet of additional space. This additional space is not going to attract 100 new customers. It's not going to attract 50 new customers. It's going to attract the same customers it has now, the residents of St. James. This is the anchor store for the St. James Hamlet. This is it in downtown St. James. And all we're trying to do is construct a small addition, not to make the store more intense, but to make it better, to upgrade it, to redesign the interior, have wider aisles, make it more comfortable for our clients, for our customers, and to make it a nicer experience for the shoppers, okay? That's the store. Now, I'm going to back up a little bit. I'm not going to go into terrible detail about it because I don't think it's really relevant to this proceeding. However, there were plans initially. This whole process began a few years ago when King Cullen was contemplating expanding the store by about 7,500 square feet. And in order to do that, King Cullen would have to build part of their store, part of that addition, on lot 46.1, which is the lot that VFW owns and leased to St. James Associates. The gentleman that said that we had an agreement with somebody, excuse me, sir, I'm going to finish speaking and then you can say whatever you want to say, but I'm going to speak and then I'm done, okay? I'm talking to the man.
Let's be polite.
Talking to the man with his hand.
Let's just be polite and let everybody,
Okay.
if you want to speak afterwards, I'll let you come up and speak.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So where was I? I was talking about what we were trying to do initially. One of the gentlemen tonight referred to an agreement having been made with a predecessor who was either subsequently fired or resigned. That was not the case. That gentleman was Ed Glacken. He was the former real estate director of King Cullen. And before he made any application to this town board or planning board, he first called the VFW commander and had a meeting with them and began to discuss a proposal he fostered to swap a portion of land, an equivalent portion of land that King Cullen owned on the south side of their building, adjacent to their building, for the small piece of land on the corner of 46.1 where the store could be constructed if the total expansion were to be developed. He made an offer. The VFW rejected that offer. The plans died. No applications were made. Nothing happened. About a year and a half later, my client, Mr. James Johnson, who is with me today, who is the current real estate director of King Cullen, engaged me to reignite the application and get it going again and get the process going. And on my recommendation to Mr. Johnson, I suggested that we meet voluntarily with the VFW to revisit that idea to see if there's something we could do to make that agreement better and acceptable. And we did. In fact, we met several times, and we increased the potential land swap offer twice. And both times were rejected. Okay, so we're not in the business of waiting forever to reach a commercial business deal with an adjoining landowner. We need to proceed and move ahead. So we made a business decision to forego the 7,500 square foot addition and propose the 4,355 square foot addition, which will be wholly situated on our land, will not encroach on their land, and we will not be violating any of the covenants or leases that are currently in effect. The tax lot 46.1 was leased by St. James Associates, which is the Stoller family. It was ground leased, and they subleased it to King Cullen for use as a parking lot in connection with their store. It's been used that way since 1985 or 86, and we're not changing that use. And in fact, the new site plan is substantially similar to what's there now. There's roughly 18 or 19 parking spaces on that lot right now. And if this new plan were adopted, and it probably won't be because the planning department will recommend revision, so it may not even look like what we're showing you tonight. This is just a concept. There's 22 spaces, so there's a difference of 3 or 4 spaces. Now, I'm not here to debate the legalities of the lease. I'm not going to get into that argument tonight. This is not the time and place for that, okay? But we are being very mindful of our obligations, and we believe we've acted in good faith. I do want to correct one thing that has to be corrected. We are not encroaching on anyone's property illegally, nor will we. And number 2, we will not be illegally crossing their property to get to our property. Lot 46.1, which is the VFW property that's leased to King Cullen, is contiguous, immediately adjacent to tax lot 47, which is the property that King Cullen owns on the south side. So we're not crossing over anybody's land that we have no right to cross over.
Okay.
Okay? And that's all I'm going to say. But I'm asking the board to consider this from a zoning and planning standpoint. And we want to be good neighbors, and we are good neighbors. And we're trying to do this for the betterment of the St. James community, and I'm one of those. My wife shops in King Cullen. And by the way, 2 of my boys have gone to pancake breakfast at your post with the Boy Scouts. We're here to try and help, and we're trying to make things better for the community. And that's all I have to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That gentleman right there, and that's the last person, okay?
My name is Ernie DeRaffaelli. I live at 40 Arlington Avenue, St. James. I've been a resident since 1959, so I've been around. I know where the King Cullen store is. The gentleman speaks of the King Cullen store as not being a superstore, but they certainly get super prices when you go in there to shop. I'll tell you that. At one point, they were selling milk more than 7-Eleven was getting. I couldn't understand that. I said, this is a supermarket, and the local 7-Eleven is selling the milk cheaper than they are. So don't tell me what great guys they are. They may be great people, and they've been here a long, long time and all that, but they're still in the market of making money, and they really make money in this town.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, folks. All I ask is the board, when they speak to the town board, to
Everything's been said here tonight, and the other meetings will be absolutely said to the town board, okay? And if you would like to go, if we decide to send it to the town board, you're all welcome to go to the town board and voice there, and they'll be as patient as we are, okay?
Can we hear your recommendation?
If we do that, it'll be our recommendation, yes.
Can we hear it now?
all right, sir, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
This is I'm not going to say it again. What normally happens, we brought this back before the board for a new hearing because there was a significant difference between the first and second hearing. What normally happens is the board reserves time to evaluate, and more than likely, since this is over a year old, the board, it's up to them, but they may do another on-site inspection to take a look at it because of the changes. We also want to examine with council probably, we're not going to handle the legal issues, but we want to make sure that we're not going to make anything that's in contravention to anything that's there. What's going to happen, therefore, is that we have to put together a recommendation that's going to, it's going to be probably fairly detailed, so we're not prepared to do that this evening. And so it will probably happen, I'm going to guess, at the next meeting.
So what
Okay.
happens is, the planning department is gonna make a recommendation, which they haven't written up yet, to the planning board, which is us. In the interim, we're going to go out to give ourselves an opportunity to go out to the location. Because as Mr. DeRubia says, it's been a year since we last had any on-site, and also there's now been changes. It's different than it was a year ago. And then at some point, which he believes is going to be the next meeting, then we're going to vote our recommendation to the town board. But that's where it's ultimately going to end up. Right? One way or the other, it's going to go there.
No, thank you. Oh, no, you'll be notified of everything. Absolutely.
The property, if you're talking about the town board public hearing, there will be new notices given to the neighbors within 200 feet, and there will be a sign posted on the property. This time it'll be black and white. This board, that's the town colors. This board is red and white. It'll be a black, blue and white, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah,
And so
definitely.
you'll see a black and white
a year,
sign
and they
on
have
there.
different-
That'll
they have
indicate a
changed.
town board meeting. And then that will be scheduled. Given the time frames that we're working with here, I'm guessing you'll see this for a June public hearing before the town board.
All right, members of the board. No, not yet. We gotta, no, not yet.
might do that.
No, we want to do an on-site first. A motion there for an on-site.
Mr. Chairman, in regards to King Cullen, 2010-02, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn for an on-site.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered. Now, we can do there a motion to adjourn.
There's a minor matter I want to discuss with the board that's not relevant.
Oh, okay.
This is a procedural matter.
You're free to go. We have something there that he wants to talk to us about.
Okay,
You're quite welcome, all of you. Yes.
okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay? Just want to make you guys all right, thank you.
Okay. Mr. Chairman? Okay. This is actually a minor matter. Okay.
Wait till they just get, can I ask you gentlemen there to just go out in the hall and do the talking out there while we finish up the meeting? right? All right.
Okay, this is a minor matter. This is in regard to some of the applications you'll notice that are not on the agenda. This was a planned action, but we procedurally approached this the wrong way. We have several applications such as St. Johnland, which is going through an environmental impact statement process now. And rather than keep on adjourning these meetings, I asked the staff, let's have them removed from the agenda. Actually, it's your agenda and only you could remove it, and it was inadvertently not put on your agenda. What we're going to do at the next meeting is I'm going to put them back on the agenda, but request that they be taken off the agenda so that we accomplish them. But what I'm these are matters, what I'm recommending, they'll come back before the board, they'll be re-advertised, re-noticed, and reposted. But we've gone through, like some of them have gone through the environmental impact process for 2 years, and I don't think it's serving any purpose just keeping them on our agenda. Look,
Carrying it every week, and every meeting and adjourning it.
right. If we know that it's at least 6 months to 8 months away. So what I'm suggesting is for those matters, we're going to remove them from the agenda because this board's going to ask them to be reposted and noticed when they come back on because they've been so long. And then we'll do it at that particular time. But my staff was very exuberant and they just took them off. And so.
See, they agree with the idea. They,
Yeah.
I'm tired of reading them every meeting.
it makes sense to me. I mean,
So we'll bring them back at the next meeting and then we're going to ask you to take
when
them
it comes
off.
time to act on it, then it'll be on.
They have to repost and do all that again
Right.
anyway, so
I think it makes, it's common sense.
Okay, a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, so ordered.